Bonaire dive news this week includes stories about the latest stony coral tissue loss disease status, an update on last week's coral spawning, how a sharp-nosed puffer population increase impacted local turtles, and Bonaire-related Facebook groups, plus weather, dive-related events you may not be aware of, and a new video section. Let's jump in. Hey! There have been no updates to the Bonaire National Marine Park Coral Disease Presence Map this week. So, either the situation is stabilizing, or there's a delay in the reporting. Nonetheless, that means no additional dive sites have turned red or transitioned from green to orange. Please stay vigilant with your dive site selections and gear cleaning. Also, we forgot to mention one additional stenop occurred last week. Specifically, there is no diving or snorkeling on Klein Bonaire after 2 p.m. Stenapa will reevaluate the situation by June 19th. Remember the floating coral larva nursery story from last week? Well, they took it down this morning after a successful propagation event. Here's what happened. Diploria labyrinthiformis, more commonly known as grooved brain coral, recently went through a spawning event. Reef Renewal Bonaire was able to capture gametes, the technical term for reproductive cells, from 27 different colonies, just on Buddy's Reef. According to their post, over 3 million embryos were fertilized in their lab, some of which were placed in that floating larva nursery. After settling on star-shaped substrates for a couple of weeks, they will be outplanted on the reef. The remaining fertilized embryos will be released into the ocean to find their own future homes. You can follow all of Reef Renewal Bonaire's activities at facebook.com/Reef Renewal Bonaire or reefrenewalbonaire.org. Recently, there's been a sharp-nosed puffer population explosion, and while they are fairly cute, it did have some ramifications for the island. First, like all pufferfish, the sharp-nosed variety is toxic. They produce tetrodotoxin, which is a defensive mechanism that impacts the nervous system of predators and can result in paralysis or death. Unfortunately, the ecosystem was not able to support so many puffers, and other local marine life started to feed on them with negative consequences. A number of turtles were found, lethargic, paralyzed, and even dead. In fact, one of the deceased turtles had 37 puffers in its stomach. Fortunately, Sea Turtle Conservation Bonaire was notified and rescued a few before it was too late. Following much-needed care and rehabilitation, the turtles were successfully released into Lock Bay. If you'd like to learn more about the entire event, there are a couple of terrific articles in the Bonaire Reporter, and Sea Turtle Conservation Bonaire provides regular updates on its Facebook page. Additionally, if you see a distressed turtle on Bonaire, please call their hotline at +599 780 0433. If you're coming to Bonaire to dive, planning on coming to dive, came to Bonaire and missed the diving, or are just curious about the diving here, there are several Facebook groups you may or may not be aware of. Bonaire for Divers has a terrific assortment of recently spotted animals. Most of the posts are dive-related, but there is the occasional food review, and every once in a while a lost and found post, which brings us to the second and very useful group, Bonaire Lost and Found Dive Gear. This is a group specifically dedicated to reuniting lost equipment with their owners. It's amazing how many items make their way back successfully. Bonaire Dive Buddies is the perfect place to find a buddy if you're coming solo, or, randomly picking a scenario, your wife breaks her ankle and isn't able to dive for a while. Finally, despite having buddies in its name, the Reef Buddies Bonaire group is a general diving and snorkeling group with lots of cool pics and videos, as well as informational postings. You can find links to each of these groups in the description below, or just search Facebook. And if you know of other Bonaire Facebook groups with a focus on diving, let us know in the comments section below. This is the first week none of the lows are in the 70s, so it's getting a little hotter. There's a fair chance of precipitation all week, although we haven't seen a proper storm in quite a while. And the wind looks to increase a bit from last week. All in all, the weather looks pretty good. Oh, almost forgot, the water temperatures remain steady as well. Operation CCR gets into full swing at Buddy Dive Resort with a full week of presentations and demonstrations. Hands-on activities include gear tryouts and guided dives, including one to the 180-foot deep Windjammer. You can find out more at buddydive.com/events/Operation CCR. Every Sunday, Reef Renewal Bonaire gives an informative presentation about their most recent coral restoration efforts in Blenny's restaurant at the Buddy Dive Resort. You can also find out ways to get involved, including classes, certifications, internships, and volunteering. Visit facebook.com/Reef Renewal Bonaire or reefrenewalbonaire.org for more information. Manta Mondays continue, this time at VIP Diving. It's an evening of free education from the Caribbean Islands Manta Conservation Program. More information, as well as manta sightings and videos, can be found at facebook.com/Caribbean Islands Manta. Reef Awareness Day is June 1st, and it's being celebrated by Reef Renewal Bonaire with their Reef Fiesta 2023 event. Following a short training and education session, divers will enter one of 7 different coral nurseries around Bonaire for some hands-on restoration experience. The day will finish with a 5 p.m. reception at Buddy Dive Resort, complete with food, drinks, a raffle, and other activities. reefrenewalbonaire.org/Reef Fiesta 2023 has all the details. If you want to help keep Bonaire's shoreline beautiful and keep trash from blowing into the water we dive in, consider volunteering at 1 Hour Cleanup Power on Saturday. You can find out more at onehourcleanuppower.one or check facebook.com/1 Hour Cleanup Power for the latest planned location. Saturday, June 3rd is also a full moon, so be sure to check back next week for the Ostracod schedule. Finally, Buddy Dive Resort has announced 2 marine education weeks in September. It'll be the same program for both weeks and will feature presentations and guided dives, focusing on marine life identification and reef fish behavior with an emphasis on species found right off the dock at the resort, which we can attest is quite remarkable. More information can be found at buddydive.com/Marine Life Education 2 or facebook.com/Buddy Dive Resort. This week, we're adding a new segment with interesting videos from around the island. This one shows a fishing boat pulling up a metal anchor, very close to some divers. Please be aware that even though dropping anchors is illegal on Bonaire, it can and does happen. Always stay alert while diving. So that's it. What did you think of our 3rd episode? We've added some transition sounds and that video section. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the content and want to be notified when next week's episode comes out, consider subscribing to the TropicLens channel. Thanks! Smiley face.